We got to use those skills.
Hello everyone, this is this TCG Live? Yeah, name, maybe say?
TCG Live.
TCG Live everyone, hey how you doing? This is the Storm Commander, Luigi. I know it's been a while since we've placed up some videos, but today we will be showing you a deck profile featuring Shadow Paladins. We are Advanced Comics Cards and Game Store. They have recently relocated to a new spot and it looks amazing. Today we will feature Ace, showcasing his Shadow Paladin deck.
16, 20, 31.
So Ace, tell us about the deck you have, why you chose it, and what is your deck's focus?
Alright, the deck I have is Shadow Paladin. The reason I chose it because I really like the mechanics of retiring your own rear guards and giving your dragons plus your main Vanguard, which is Shadow Paladin's focus. It focuses on the Vanguard, just like most control decks, but I feel like Shadow Paladins really apply that focus. So basically, your dragons plus your Vanguard plus is off of doing what your deck is supposed to do.
Okay. All right, without further ado, let's get into it.
All right, first let's start off with my grade 3s. First, which is what you want to normally start off riding, Phantom Blaster Dragon. I really like this unit. It is a Counterblast 1, retire 3 of your rear guards and your opponent retires 3 of their rear guards. And also you gain 15k in a crit off of that. And its second skill is if your opponent has no rear guards and your opponent is at 4 or less damage, you may deal them a damage by soul blasting a grade 3. And that is okay, because normally, I know before we had the Dark Dictator, but it's okay because you can ride Phantom Blaster on top of Phantom Blaster and still get a very optimal result out of it. I feel like optimal is the word. Next, we have, this guy is normally going to be your finisher. He is Gust Blaster Dragon. I really like the fact that they reprinted him because he has a very good skill in my opinion. The skill is, when it attacks, it is an auto skill, which is very great for Shadow Paladin. And I'll explain why in a minute. But its skill is, when it attacks, you counterblast 1, retire 2 of your rear guards, draw a card, and your opponent chooses 1 of their rear guards and retires. The second skill is when you have when your rear guard is retired, no matter if you call over it or you retire it itself, if there's a grade 3 blaster in the soul, it gains a crit. So you can really, if you do it right, you can honestly get him up to maybe like 5 or 6 crits. And that means your opponent will either have the PG or use a lot to guard from their hand. But it's okay because it's an auto skill, because you can call, let's say you wanted to rush. You can attack with 2 of your rear guards first, then attack with him, retire them, and then you'll have the third attack ready to go off. Which really helps, especially if you decide to disperse differentiate with your force markers, but you have to know which clans to do that against. Like some, it's okay to do it depending on the situation and what your opponent has on the board. It's okay to do it with Excel clans every now and again. But really, it all depends on what you're trying to accomplish. And those are the 3s. Alright, next we're gonna start with my favorite grade 2 of the Shadow Paladin, Blaster Dark. As you can see, I have the pretty Blaster Darks.
Now don't be surprised if someone messes around and pulls out like max rarity Blaster Dark, even though he came out in 2 rarities. I'm not sure which one, which set that came out of.
Oh yeah, are you talking about the first print from like the old season?
No, he didn't get the iron. Did Blaster Dark get the iron one? I don't think he did.
Anyway, I like this one, but I like Blaster Dark. I think this skill that he has now, I hate the fact that you can't choose, but it's okay. You can still work with it. But his skill is, when placed on van or rear guard, counterblast, your opponent chooses a rear guard and retires it. And also the Axe skill if you discard a card, your opponent has no rear guards. You may discard a card and he gets Twin Drive, which is very lovely, especially for a grade 2. But you can only get that when he's on the Vanguard circle, but that's still okay. Now, for our next grade 2, we will run, I really like this new grade 2. It is very useful. Run 4 Dark Bond Trumpeter. Now the Dark Bond Trumpeter skill is Van or Rear, auto, when placed, counterblast 1, search your deck for a 5k power unit, call it to a rear guard as rest, and when your 5k power unit Van or rear guard is second skill auto, when your 5k unit rear guard is placed, he gains 3k, so it gets big from calling a 5k unit. That is from hand or deck.
Okay.
So
how does this help supplement the plays in Shadow Paladin when it comes to making the most optimal board?
Okay, so as we all know, Shadow Paladin has to commit from hand. So what this does, it allows you to commit one less card from the hand. Now, I really wish it was an act, that first skill was an act, because that would be more efficient in my opinion, but the auto skill is okay too, because it's when placed. That's why I kind of wish it was an act. But it's alright. But one less card from hand, you can save it to, because having that one extra card in your hand really can come in handy when guarding. Especially if you're playing, let's say you're playing Kagero. And I'm gonna get to this unit in a minute when I get to the grade 1s. Let's say you call Skullwish Nemen to the rest. Well, actually, playing the Excel plan, I say, like Pale Moon. Okay, let's say Nemen stays. Now you just called her. You got 2 attacks, one swinging for 12k and one swinging for 9 times out of 10, 10k, or depending if you called her when you were on grade 2 or grade 3, Phantom Blaster. Now, what this does is, after your opponent's turn, if Nemen is still on the field, stand her. You rest her. Call Blackwing Swordbreaker, another Nemen. That means if you can call only one card to get off Phantom Blaster's skill, that way. Also, Swordbreaker skill, when she's placed, counterblast, you draw a card. That's an extra card in hand, so you can commit more.
All right. Well, let's see these units that you're talking about, and hopefully we can go a little bit more in depth in here.
So we got 1 more 2 to go, and I'll run 3 of this. Darkness Maiden Maka. Now, I know some people run her at 4, but I find her okay at 3. Now, her skill is an act, Van or Rear, counterblast 1, call a grade 1 or less card from your hand to rear guard, draw a card, and she gets 5k. So, the combo I like to do with this card is calling Charon. Charon is an 8k grade 1 that when called due to a card's effect, you Soul Blast 1, counter charge 1, and she gains 3k. And the reason I like her with Nemen is because it's a free turn, and that's, or you can call it with Nemen or Charon. Either, it all depends on you. Or you could call it, it's gonna cost you 2 counterblasts. You can call a Blackwing Swordbreaker. You get 2 extra cards in hand. And see, and like I said, I'll get to it in a minute. When she's placed from hand, she gets 5k.
Well, let's see the stars of the deck, which are obviously the grade 1s here.
Yes, which is what we're focusing on now in Shadow Paladin, the grade 1s. I run 3 Blaster Javelin.
Okay, why 3?
3 Blaster Javelin because he's okay. He gives you he pluses when you have 2 or more. He counts himself grade 1s on the field. You counterblast, draw a card, and you gains 3k when he's placed, and you have 2 or more grade 1s. And reason why is because I run Blackwing Swordbreaker, and in my opinion, she's the better card because she's a 5k unit, and that is because of Dark Bond Trumpeter skill. I can call her from the deck, and not always just Nemen. It gives me options to call whether I want to call a Swordbreaker or a Nemen. And He's an 8K. Now, if he was a 5K, that would be dope, but he is. But it's okay. You could still have him in the deck. So that's why just 3.
All right.
Now, let's get to 3 Cherry. Now, as you know, she's an auto, Soul Blast, 1 countercharge 1. And the reason I like Charon at 3, Charon is okay at 3, is because I run Maka at 3. And that is perfectly okay because the only way you can get her skill, countercharge skill off is to call her with Maka. That's the only resource you have to call her with this deck. But that's okay. You can sacrifice her, or you can, if you grab Maka, she's basically the guard or sacrifice for your dragons, or just use her skill with an extra boost for Maka.
Everybody won't be like Brian.
Now, I run 4 Skullwitch Nemin for obvious reasons, because Nemin calls a 5K unit. Once again, using her skill, that's 1 less card you have to commit from hand. And the reason, her main purpose, first let me explain her skill. Her axe skill is when,
her skill.
Axe skill, my bad y'all. Rest her, search the deck for up to 1 5K card, call it to open rear guard, and shuffle the deck. And this ability may only be used by a card with the same card name once a turn.
I got finish her skill, then I can activate her skill in the middle. I can just do
Card with the
in the
same
middle.
card name.
So I got
Now,
like
you
her
can
skill
call a
with
Nemin with a Nemin. You can even call another 5K unit with a different
I
name.
need to make sure I do this right if I ever go to a tournament with this.
And basically, Nemin's purpose is she's basically just gonna get sacked for to help out your dragons, which they gain extra criticals when you retire things. And this is the main purpose. Like, the way that I built my deck is built around doing what my dragons are supposed to do. So I plus when I sack my rear guards. Now, to the person I've been talking about, which I think is a lovely card, 4 black, I run 4 Blackwing Swordbreaker.
All right. What does Swordbreaker bring to the deck?
Options. She brings option with Nemin, and she brings option with Darkbond Trumpeter. When she's placed from hand, it's called, you counterblast, well, when she's placed, counterblast 1, draw a card. And that extra draw is amazing. And I run, also, when she's placed from hand, you gain 5K, so she becomes a 5K boost, which is why normally when you place Darkbond Trumpeter, you call
10K?
Yeah, 10K boost, my bad. And normally when you place Darkbond Trumpeter, you want to call Nemin. Then if Nemin is still on the field, then you call her. So if your Darkbond Trumpeter is on the field, or you call a Blaster Dark or a Maka, and call the grade 1 to the other rear guard, so that's boosted. And which is okay because you're gonna draw, so that's plus into your hand, so you're not really losing much.
Okay.
But yeah, and because the reason I don't call her with Darkbond Trumpeter skill, unless I really need the extra cards, because she's gonna be called at rest. And that's kind of, it just depends on the situation, what your opponent has on the board. And like after that, you can really just sack her. That's why, let's say I had Gust Blaster Dragon on the field. I just use her to boost Blaster Dark. I attack with that. I can now use Gust Blaster attack to sack her and Blaster Dark because they've already attacked. That's why I'm glad that's an auto skill.
All right. With the ones and with the whole grade 1, 2, and 3 lineup down, let's go to the trigger count and see why that's rolled.
All right. For the trigger count, I run 5 crits for Death Eagle, for Dark Side Trumpet.
Why only 5?
5 crits because really I think our biggest, Shadow Paladin's biggest problem. Now there's a up And Shadow Paladin's biggest problem is hand, so I run more draw triggers, and you'll see that in a minute. Now, the reason I think this is okay is because your dragons are automatically going to get the crit, and if you do need the crit, you can just give it to your rear guard, and it's pressure for your rear guards.
All right.
Next, I run 4 of the PG draw trigger and 3 of the 5K draw trigger with the Howl Owl. Now, there's an up and a downside to this. The upside being I get hand, which is very good. The downside is I can end up drawing my crits. But like I say, that's okay because your dragons are going to get your crits. And 9 times out of 10, if you're on Gust Blaster, he will give you the crits that you need. Even though you have to sack your own things, but it's okay. Because you should have the hand to make up for it if you do it right.
And last but certainly not least,
the heal triggers, Abyss Healer. I run 4. That's standard of the Abyss Healer triggers.
all right, and our good old Forerunner, just so that he'll get some love and limelight in this video.
Full bow.
Start as full bow. All right. At the end of the day, what do you think of Shadow Paladin as a whole? And would you recommend this clan for anyone that is starting out?
I would, but the thing with Shadow Paladin is, I definitely found out. Okay, I'm new to Vanguard, so let me start by saying that. And my last couple decks haven't been good, but if I would recommend this deck or either Kagero, because I also play Kagero if you're just starting out. For me, the trial decks, or start off with the trial decks because they're the simplest to work with, and then build your way up. Because with this deck, the way that I have it set up, you really have to think about. You can't just go placing stuff down. You really have to think, because this deck can tear through counterblasts, trust me. So you really have to use your resources very wisely and just really
Choose a card of my hand and put it into the stove.
Think about what Shadow Paladin's playstyle is. We sack our rear guards to basically, we don't have that many powerful rear guards other than, that's why I only have the 2 10K rear guards that I have are Blaster Dark and Grade 2s, I should say, Maka. They are 10K. So we don't have much power on our rear guards, but that's because we usually focus on our dragon. That's the way I built the deck, and I definitely recommend this clan. But like I say, you just have to be smart about it and just really look at the board awareness and think about the situation.
Okay. All right, Ace.
And also, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off. Let me know what you guys think of the deck, because I really did some research when building this deck. I put a lot of thought into it.
Feedback!
I know my decks haven't been the best, but I really feel proud of this one because I really worked hard on it. Like I said, did a lot of research. And that's another thing, if you're just starting out, research the clan that you want to play. Look at their play style, like what the deck is supposed to do. It will really guide you and building the deck. So that would be my advice when you're starting out and you really want to build your own deck.
All right. Anything else that you wish to add about the clan in general, or any advice, any tips?
What Avengers do you need against me for?
Not really. Also, since today is, what is today? Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay. I would also like to know what do you guys feel like Shadow Paladin needs? Like, what are your thoughts on Shadow Paladin? Like, and if you are a expert Shadow Paladin player, what do you think I could add to the deck to make it better, or do you think it's okay for right now until we get the new support? I think we should be getting ours in September. What do you guys think about Mordred coming back? What are your thoughts on it? Do you think it's gonna be a Revenger build? Do you not? Like, let us know, cause I think I like it. I can't speak for everybody else, but I know I like looking at stuff like that. Okay. And yeah, just feedback. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts for the future? What do you think we need?
We need it. We love it.
Yeah, what do you guys think Shadow Paladin needs? Like,
all right.
Just basic things like that.
Like around the
All right. Thanks, Ace, for today's deck profile.
Replace it with the shiny star core.
As we say to all our
Shiny star core,
subscribers
get your ass.
and all, anyone else that views the video, give us the likes, smash that like button. Help us out here. We're trying to grow as a
Hit that
channel.
notification bell,
Hit
please.
the notification bell to receive more videos and updates. We're going to be constantly bringing more stuff out and more content out like this. Thank you, Ace, for showing this awesome Shadow Paladin deck for us. And also, any tips on how we can make this video or any of these videos that we can post in the near future better, please give us comments and feedback below. We take all this information that you guys give us to make sure that we provide the most awesome content for you guys and to bring everything to the forefront so that we may be able to use everything we have to the best of our ability.
Right.
This is the Storm Commander. Thanks, Ace, once again. See you later on TCG Life.
That was his.